Most people spend years waiting for life to change, but the truth is that your life will not change until you decide to change. Every great comeback begins with one powerful decision: taking responsibility. You can blame your parents, your childhood, your boss, your friends, the economy, or the people who walked away from you. You can keep replaying every painful memory in your mind and convince yourself that life has been unfair. Maybe it has. Maybe people betrayed you. Maybe you lost opportunities that should have been yours. Maybe you gave your best and still ended up disappointed. But here's something I want you to understand. The moment you keep giving your past control over your future, you hand over the keys to your destiny. Your past can explain why you are here, but it cannot decide where you are going unless you allow it. Every successful person has a story that includes pain, failure, rejection, and moments when they questioned everything. The difference is not that successful people had easier lives. The difference is that they stopped using their past as an excuse. They accepted that nobody was coming to rescue them. They understood that rebuilding starts when excuses end. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you have complete authority over what you do today. That's where your power lives. You have to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? That single question changes everything. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every disappointment teaches wisdom. Every failure develops strength if you are willing to pay attention. Life is a teacher, but only students who are humble enough to learn continue to grow. When you accept responsibility, something amazing happens. You stop feeling like a victim and you start thinking like a leader. Leaders understand that while they cannot control every circumstance, they can always control their response. That's what separates people who stay stuck from people who build extraordinary lives. They focus on what they can control instead of wasting energy on what they cannot. Look at your life honestly. Maybe your finances are not where you want them to be. Maybe your health has been neglected. Maybe your relationships are broken. Maybe your dreams have been sitting on a shelf for years because fear convinced you that it was too late. The first step is not pretending everything is okay. The first step is admitting where you are without making excuses for how you got there. Honesty is painful, but it is also freeing. You cannot fix what you refuse to face. Too many people are waiting for the perfect moment to begin again. They think they need more money, more confidence, better connections, or more time. But rebuilding never starts with perfect conditions. It starts with a decision to wake up one more day and fight for the life you deserve, a decision to stop complaining and start creating, a decision to become responsible for your choices, your habits, your attitude, and your future. Understand this: responsibility is not punishment. Responsibility is freedom. The day you realize your choices shape your future is the day you become unstoppable. If your choices created problems, then better choices can create solutions. That should encourage you because it means your future is not fixed. It can be rebuilt one decision at a time. Stop carrying guilt for things you cannot change. Guilt is heavy and it keeps you looking backward. Learn the lesson, forgive yourself, and move forward. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has regrets. The people who succeed are not the people with perfect records. They are the people who refuse to let yesterday steal today. You also have to forgive those who hurt you. Forgiveness does not mean they were right. It means you refuse to let them occupy space in your heart any longer. Bitterness drains energy that could be used to build your future. Every minute spent hating someone is a minute taken away from becoming the person you were created to be. Let it go, not because they deserve peace, but because you deserve freedom. Remember, rebuilding yourself is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming the person you were always capable of being before fear, disappointment, failure, and rejection convinced you otherwise. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to choose differently. Every new day is another chance to write a better chapter. The strongest buildings are often rebuilt after storms. The strongest people are often those who refuse to quit after life knocked them down. Your scars are not proof that you are weak. They are proof that you survived. Your failures are not your identity. They are simply part of your education. Your past is not your prison unless you decide to live there. So stand up today. Accept where you are. Take ownership of where you are going. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you before you believe in yourself. The life you want begins the moment you stop making excuses and start making decisions. One responsible choice today can completely change the direction of your tomorrow, and that is how real rebuilding begins. Everybody loves motivation because motivation feels good. It gives you energy. It fills you with excitement. It makes you believe that today is the day everything changes. But here's what I've learned. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some mornings you wake up feeling like you can conquer the world. Other mornings you don't even feel like getting out of bed. If your future depends on how you feel, your future will always be uncertain. That's why successful people don't build their lives on motivation. They build them on discipline. Discipline is making the right decision even when your emotions tell you to do the opposite. It is choosing to wake up early when your bed feels too comfortable. It is choosing to work on your dream after a long day when your mind says you deserve a break. It is choosing to keep your promises to yourself even when nobody is watching. That's the difference between people who only dream about success and people who actually achieve it. You don't become great because you did something incredible one day. You become great because you did ordinary things consistently for a very long time. Success isn't built in one giant leap. It's built one small decision at a time. Every workout matters. Every page you read matters. Every dollar you save matters. Every skill you practice matters. Those little choices may seem insignificant today, but over time they create extraordinary results. Too many people quit because they don't see immediate progress. They plant a seed today and expect to eat fruit tomorrow. Life doesn't work like that. A farmer understands that after planting a seed, there is a season of watering, protecting, and waiting before the harvest comes. Your dreams work the same way. You have to stay committed even when nothing seems to be changing. Just because you cannot see growth doesn't mean growth isn't happening. There will be days when nobody encourages you. There will be days when people laugh at your goals. There will be days when you question whether all your hard work is worth it. Those are the moments that reveal your character. Anybody can keep going when life is easy. Anybody can smile when everything is working out. But the people who rebuild themselves are the ones who continue working when nobody applauds, when nobody believes, and when the results are invisible. You have to become the kind of person who honors commitments, especially the commitments you make to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you weaken your own confidence. Eventually, you stop believing your own words. But every time you follow through, even on something small, you build trust in yourself. Self-confidence doesn't magically appear. It's earned through consistent action. Stop looking for shortcuts. The shortcut usually becomes the longest road because it teaches you nothing. The struggle develops your strength. The repetition builds your skill. The failures sharpen your wisdom. Every difficult day prepares you for responsibilities you couldn't handle before. If everything came easily, you wouldn't become the person capable of sustaining success. Remember that discipline is not about being perfect. You're going to miss days. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have moments when you fall behind. The key is not allowing one bad day to become one bad week, one bad month, or one bad year. When you fall, get back up quickly. Don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. Learn the lesson and keep moving forward. Your habits are creating your future whether you realize it or not. The things you repeatedly do become the person you repeatedly are. If your daily habits are filled with excuses, distractions, procrastination, and negativity, your future will reflect those choices. But if your days are filled with learning, discipline, hard work, gratitude, and consistency, your future will eventually reflect those decisions too. You cannot separate your habits from your destiny. The truth is, nobody can give you discipline. A coach can inspire you. A mentor can guide you. A friend can encourage you. But at the end of the day, you are the one who must decide to show up. You are the one who must keep going after the excitement fades. You are the one who must continue when the path becomes difficult. Every champion has mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. That's why they achieve what others only admire. They understand that feelings change every day, but discipline creates permanent results. They know that greatness is hidden inside the daily routines that most people are unwilling to repeat. As you rebuild yourself, don't ask whether you feel motivated today. Ask yourself whether you're committed. Commitment will carry you farther than emotion ever will. Build routines that make success inevitable. Protect your time. Guard your focus. Stay faithful to the process. Every disciplined action is another brick in the foundation of the life you're building. One day, people will look at your success and call it luck, but you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck at all. It was the result of choosing discipline over excuses, consistency over comfort, and purpose over temporary feelings one day at a time. Before your life changes, your thinking has to change. That's one of the greatest truths you'll ever learn. Most people spend all their energy trying to change their circumstances without ever changing the way they see themselves. They want better opportunities, more money, healthier relationships, and greater success, but they continue carrying the same beliefs that kept them stuck in the first place. You cannot expect a new life while operating with the same old mindset. If you want different results, you have to become a different thinker. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every decision begins with a thought. Every habit starts with an idea. Every action is first created in your imagination before it becomes reality. That's why protecting your mindset is one of the most important responsibilities you have. If you constantly feed your mind with doubt, fear, negativity, and excuses, your life will eventually reflect those thoughts. But if you fill your mind with belief, purpose, discipline, and possibility, your actions will begin to move in a completely different direction. The biggest battle you will ever fight is not against your competitors. It's not against your critics. It's not against your circumstances. The biggest battle is the one taking place between your ears every single day. Every morning you wake up, there is a voice that says you're not good enough, you're too late, you're too old, you're too young, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough money, and you should probably give up before you embarrass yourself. That voice has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. The problem is not that negative thoughts appear. Every human being experiences them. The problem is when you believe them without questioning them. Just because you think something doesn't make it true, your mind can lie to you when it has been trained by fear instead of faith. That's why you have to become intentional about replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, I can't, ask yourself, how can I? Instead of saying, this is impossible, ask, what can I learn to make it possible? That simple shift changes the way your brain searches for solutions instead of excuses. Many people have accepted labels that were placed on them years ago. Maybe someone told you that you would never succeed. Maybe a teacher underestimated you. Maybe someone laughed at your dream. Maybe you failed at something important and now you've convinced yourself that failure is your identity. But listen carefully, what happened to you is not who you are. A mistake is an event, not a definition. Rejection is an experience, not your identity. You are bigger than your worst day and your future is greater than your past. The people around you also influence the way you think. If you spend every day with people who complain, make excuses, gossip, and settle for less, eventually you'll begin to think like them. Mindsets are contagious. That's why you have to be careful about who has access to your mind. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, who believe in possibilities, who encourage excellence, and who remind you that your current situation is not your final destination. The voices you listen to consistently will eventually become the voice inside your own head. Growth also requires humility. You cannot rebuild yourself while believing you already know everything. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Read books. Listen to people who have achieved what you're trying to achieve. Learn new skills. Ask questions. Stay curious. Every piece of knowledge you gain becomes another tool you can use to build the future you desire. Successful people never stop being students because they understand that learning is a lifelong investment. Your mindset also determines how you respond to failure. Some people see failure as proof that they should quit. Others see failure as feedback showing them what needs to improve. The event is the same, but the interpretation is completely different. That's why two people can experience the exact same setback and end up with completely different futures. One gives up while the other grows stronger. The difference isn't talent. The difference is mindset. Gratitude is another powerful way to transform your thinking. When you constantly focus on what you don't have, you'll always feel like you're behind. But when you begin appreciating what you already have, your health, your family, your abilities, your opportunities, your lessons, you create a mindset of abundance instead of scarcity. Gratitude doesn't make your problems disappear, but it changes your perspective, giving you the strength to face them with confidence instead of fear. Every great achievement was once considered impossible by someone. The people who changed the world weren't born with perfect confidence. They simply refused to let fear become the final decision maker in their lives. They believed that they could grow into the person their dreams required them to become. That same possibility exists for you. You don't have to know every step before you begin. You only have to believe that you're capable of taking the next one. As you rebuild yourself, Remember that the quality of your life will never rise above the quality of your thinking. Change your beliefs and you'll change your decisions. Change your decisions and you'll change your habits. Change your habits and you'll change your future. The transformation you've been praying for doesn't begin in your bank account, your career, or your relationships. It begins in your mind. Once your mind accepts that growth is possible, your life will begin moving in a direction you once believed was out of reach. Rebuilding yourself is not something you do once. It is something you choose over and over again. Life has a way of testing every promise you make to yourself. Just when you think you've made progress, another challenge appears. Just when you finally feel confident, another setback tries to shake your faith. That's why the strongest people are not the ones who never face difficulty. They are the ones who decide that no matter what happens, they will continue rebuilding. Every obstacle becomes another opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the life they are creating. Too many people think success is a straight line. They believe that once they make one good decision, everything will become easy. But real growth is rarely comfortable. There will be moments when you question your progress. There will be nights when you wonder if all your hard work is worth it. There will be seasons when it feels like everyone else is moving ahead while you are standing still. Those are the moments that separate people who quit from people who become unstoppable. You have to understand that progress is often invisible before it becomes obvious. Think about a skyscraper. Before anyone admires the building reaching into the sky, workers spend months digging deep into the ground. People passing by may not see much happening, but the foundation is quietly being built. Your life works the same way. Just because people can't see your growth doesn't mean you aren't growing. Every lesson you learn, every habit you improve, every challenge you overcome is strengthening the foundation of your future. Don't compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Everyone has a different timeline. Some people bloom early, while others bloom later. Some people achieve success quickly, while others spend years preparing for the opportunity that will change everything. Comparison steals joy, confidence, and focus. The only person you should compete with is the version of yourself from yesterday. Ask yourself every day, am I becoming stronger? Am I becoming wiser? Am I becoming more disciplined? If the answer is yes, then you're winning, even if the results haven't appeared yet. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that failure means the end. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is often part of success. Every successful entrepreneur has made bad decisions. Every great athlete has lost games. Every inspiring leader has experienced rejection. They didn't become successful because they avoided failure. They became successful because they refused to let failure have the final word. Every setback carries a lesson that success alone could never teach you. Difficult seasons reveal your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. Rejection teaches resilience. Delays teach patience. Disappointments teach wisdom. If you choose to learn instead of complain, every challenge becomes an investment in your future. Nothing is wasted when you refuse to stop growing. You also have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth always demands sacrifice. Sometimes you'll have to give up entertainment to build your skills. Sometimes you'll have to wake up earlier while others are still sleeping. Sometimes you'll have to say no to distractions so you can say yes to your purpose. The life you dream about will always require a version of you that is stronger than the one you are today. There will be people who don't understand your journey. Some will question your decisions. Others will laugh at your dreams because they cannot see what you see. Don't let their opinions become louder than your purpose. People often judge what they don't understand. Stay focused. Keep working. Let your results speak louder than your explanations. You don't need everyone's approval to fulfill your calling. Remember that patience is not waiting without action. Patience is continuing to work while waiting for the harvest. It is believing in the process even when the results haven't shown up yet. Every day you remain faithful to your purpose, you're moving one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Success rarely arrives overnight, but it almost always arrives for those who refuse to quit. The strongest version of yourself is being built through the challenges you're facing right now. Every difficult conversation is teaching courage. Every disappointment is teaching endurance. Every obstacle is developing strength that comfort could never produce. One day you'll look back and realize that the moments you wanted to escape were actually preparing you for the opportunities you've been praying for. Never believe that it's too late to rebuild. As long as you're breathing, You still have another chance to improve. Your age doesn't disqualify you. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Your failures don't disqualify you. What truly disqualifies people is the decision to stop trying. The moment you give up on yourself is the moment you stop discovering what you're capable of becoming. Keep rebuilding your character. Keep rebuilding your discipline. Keep rebuilding your confidence. Keep rebuilding your faith. Keep rebuilding your dreams. There is no finish line when it comes to personal growth because every new level of success demands a better version of you. The people who become unstoppable are not those who never fall. They are the ones who rise every single time they fall. They refuse to let fear define them, failure destroy them, or criticism discourage them. They keep moving forward with courage, consistency, and belief until one day the life they imagine becomes the life they are living. That is the true power of rebuilding yourself, one decision, one lesson, and one determined step at a time.